What's going on, y'all? Happy New Year's. First of all, 2015, January 1st. Okay, look. Um, Somebody on my Facebook actually asked me for my PayPal account, and because they wanted to send me some stuff. I guess I put the link in the my email address or whatever for it in the more info box. But I mean, if you want to send something, you can send something. It don't matter to me. I'm not making y'all. And it's just for my birthday or whatever. I guess they wanted to be nice and send something. I'm not saying that you have to, but if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Uh, so yeah, my birthday coming up January 7th next week. But it is what it is. I'm not expecting anything. But I hope everyone had a blessed New Year's. I was gonna do a entertainment wrap up, review, highlight, whatever the fuck. But everybody and their mama was doing one. And then when I wanted to do it, I just lost interest. I put it up. I was like, what y'all gonna do? What y'all want me to talk about? Some highlights, some lowlights or whatever, And it's like, who cares? Who cares? It is what it is. Okay? Okay, we already know one of the lowest points of 2014 was the Eric Garner situation, and we had was Trayvon Martin in that situation? No, it's probably 2013, and we had the Ferguson Mike Brown situation, and all this, racial profiling and police brutality that's making still a big issue that's being brought back, continued into 2015, unfortunately, and things about that nature. The country is pretty much still divided. Okay, that was one of the biggest lowlights of 2014, that we still have to, deal with all of these issues of people still getting killed because of the color of their skin and things of that matter, things of that. But me personally, oh my God, I just started something. Y'all remember when Ebola was such a big thing, and then all of a sudden it dropped away? Like, we was all kind of nervous. I know I was scared or whatever, but I still be thinking about that shit when I be seeing people coughing and all that stuff. And I was like, look, you just came out that bathroom stall and you did not wash your hands. Come on now. But ain't nobody really talking about it no more. Mm, what's that about? But anyway, I just washed my hair, so excuse it if it looks a little fuzzy or whatever. And one of the biggest highlights for me, I got to do a lot of things this year. Well, the past year. Excuse me, y'all. I'm a little scatterbrained. I got to do a lot of things this year that I wouldn't normally do. And I just felt myself. I always said, since I started doing YouTube, it's really literally forced me out of my shell that I've been into. I'm very antisocial and, very quiet or whatever and all that stuff. And I don't know, like, maybe probably in 2013, that's when I really started noticing a difference in myself, being a little bit more social, and I started going places or whatever with people and yada yada yada. Then last year, it's just like I go places like to concerts. I went to the On the Run tour, which was a motherfucking highlight for me, y'all. Y'all know that shit. And it was just so great meeting so many people and people knowing me. And I'm like, damn, I'm just from YouTube. I ain't no goddamn body. But, being cool and just having a good time with all these people, whatever. And, being inviting, not looking like, don't come over here and talk to me or whatever and stuff like that. And then going to Atlanta, going to Philly and being the same exact way, opening up the conversation instead of waiting for somebody to start a conversation, that was me. Okay, I was just so much more relaxed in that social aspect of it. And, I want to continue to work on that. Okay, I want to 100% continue to work on that, and you know, because I just got a feeling that regardless, this year is gonna be a good year for me. I'm gonna put that out there in the universe and say that, but you know, it's whatever you make of it. You know, you can't just say you want something and you want this to happen and all this to happen. You got to put forth the effort. You got to put forth the work and all that stuff to get you there. You can't just sit around and, oh, I wish and I dream and I hope and all of this and just keep on saying it, but you're not doing nothing to work towards it. It's just not gonna happen like that, And that's that was, one of the main things that I liked about the new last year. And then, I also had some fucked up times. And like last year was the most drama filled and emotional year that I've had ever. I lost a loved one again. The year prior, I had lost my uncle. This year, at the beginning of the year, I had lost my aunt. And then I went through a series of bullshit when you get in these moments like that, when you find out who is really there for you and who is just trying to be there for you or be on your side or be as if they care for the moment until they get what they want. And it really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And it's a shame that, in this current year, it's only been one day, but I already know for sure there's people that I was cool with um, on a personal level, whatever, that I won't be cool with, this year. And I don't look forward to being cool with them because, you know, like I said, people will use you or think that they're using you to get to where they want to get to. And then once they get there, they switch up and then try to make it seem as if you're the problem. And it's like, oh, no, 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 no. Before you go there, and the fact that you would even go there, shows me exactly who you are and what your character really is. And I don't want no part of that. And I'm too grown for this shit. So let me go over here and you go over there, and that's exactly what we're gonna stay. Shit like that. I'm only here for these positive people, positive vibe. If you ever seen my Instagram or Facebook statuses, sometimes during the year last year, girl, bitch was going through it because motherfuckers was putting me through it. I'm not trying to hide that this year. It's gonna be like fuck trying to hold on to something that's not there or never really was. Okay, so I'm gonna just move on from that. It is what it is. I wish everyone the best, because it's been a few people, and I wish, whatever, you go off and prosper and do what you got to do. The only thing that I'm so glad about those situations is I'm the type of person that, just because I see a person and we start talking or whatever, we can be cool or whatever, that don't mean that you're my friend. None of these people was my friends, okay? That's cool. Yeah, I was associates, acquaintances, or whatever, because, you were literally in the process of seeing if you can become a friend, and you actually showed your ass and showed that you can't, and therefore that's not what I need in my life. So therefore that's why I just don't feel nothing. Bye bye. Do what you got to do. It is what it is. Move the fuck on. I've only been hurt by one person that affected me, and it is what it is. Other than that, fuck the rest. That's why I'm so glad that I'm not the type of person that reveals personal things to any and everybody about myself. So therefore, because people want to be shady and shysty and just want to, use your shit against you. And I'm like, you can say whatever you want, but I just know for a fact you ain't got shit on me. So hey, do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. So, bye, And speaking of that, people was really waiting until 12 o'clock midnight today, January 1st, the new year, to drop people. Like, really? You gonna wait and put a time limit on there? If a bitch was acting up throughout the year, just drop their asses and call it a fucking day. Don't wait till January the 1st to fucking drop a bitch. Just drop them and move the fuck on. Don't bring that shit into the next year. Move on and do better, because that's what you're supposed to be about, right? And I was just so tired of saying that new year, new me. Okay, I understand what you're saying, but some of y'all putting it up there as if from December 31st at 11:59, when that shit, turn 12 o'clock a.m. January 1st, you're going to be a totally different person. No, you're not. Okay, you're not Cinderella. Your character's not about to turn back into a pumpkin at 12 o'clock midnight. Okay, it's not going to do that. But what you should have said, new year, and I'm about to work on the rest of me. Okay? I'm going to motivate myself to work on the rest of me so I can do better and be better. But you know, it is what it is. What was I saying? Yeah. And I will say, after all the crap that's been going on this year, because like I said, it was a hectic, drama-filled year. Um, I have at least. It is such a shame. It's like only like 2, 3 people from this year. Well, it's a handful of people that I can count on and call, a friend that I gain and say that, they have my trust and that we're cool and I know they won't fuck with me or whatever and they'll have my back. And I'm so appreciative of that. And I think everybody needs that one person that they can vent to and, they can vent to you and all that stuff and you can trust with your thoughts and all that. And I can say that I have that now, and that's what's up. But yeah, that was what it is for me. In 2015 this year, I just want to do more. Okay, I want to do more on YouTube. I want to expand and do other things. I have to get back on my grind with the website or whatever. I want that to get better. Um, I want. I I've gotten so many opportunities and I've gotten notice from people just from doing YouTube, like I said, or being on social media, whatever. It'll be nice to get noticed by much more people and, get invited here and there and stuff like that. Like I'm saying, I'm just trying to expand. I really want to take this YouTube thing to the next level, you know what I'm saying? And I want to meet more people. I want to have a better time. I just want to have a carefree time and, enjoy life. That's all that I really want to do, you know. Um, hey, that's what it is. See, I'm already smiling this year. Like I fucked up my leg, okay, and I'm not even fucking mad at it. I was a little depressed, just a little bit, cause I've been off of work for 2 weeks. I ain't had shit to do up in this house, but to lay up and all that stuff. But my leg is getting better. It's feeling. I'm about like at 70% better, and I can just feel the change coming, and I'm just like, first of all, thank God I ain't had to get no cast, but I can just feel it, and I'm just saying no to negativity. Okay, I'm just trying to be the most positive person that I can be, and hang around the most positive people ever. Okay, if you not on my side, if you're not gonna put your neck out for me, don't expect me to put my neck out for you. If you're not gonna defend me on whatever, don't expect me to defend you. Okay, don't expect me to. If you're not gonna love me for me, don't expect me to do it to you. Okay, I'm working on these things, and it is what it is, and I'm just loving this change that I've been feeling. And it's not just because it's January the 1st, okay? This has been going on with me for the past couple of months or so. I've just been ridding myself of a lot of toxin. And toxin can be any negative thing, person, whatever situation that's been going on in your life. And that's what I've been doing. So I've been just doing a mental, spiritual, and emotional cleanse, okay? And a bitch will be working on herself physically too, and all that stuff, because this big bitch got to lose some weight. Okay, I'm trying to look good when we go down to Atlanta. You know, um, I'm for real. I'm for real. But yeah, y'all tell me in the comments what it is that you expect out of this year for yourself. How you spent your New Year's, bitch? I spent my New Year's in this room with my leg propped up, looking at TV, bitch. For real. But and I ain't really mind it. I was feeling a little way, but I was like, bitch, whatever. You always gonna have. It's gonna be more times to come or whatever. So don't even sweat it. Just you gotta make sure yourself is good. But yeah, if Happy New Year to everybody for real, and just make the best out of it every day. Every day. Don't ever just wait till a new year to start over. You start over right then and there. Okay? Just do what you gotta do for the betterment of yourself. If that means cutting off people, cut them off. If that means changing your situation, change your situation. If that means you got to go to another location, you got to quit a job and go to another job, you got to do what you got to do for the betterment of yourself, okay? And yeah, Put down in the comments what you think you're looking forward to, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. I see y'all Sunday. Real Housewives. Y'all was in some. We'll talk about that Sunday because this ain't the video. But I will see y'all later. Peace, y'all.